how do you implement it now going back in the playoffs?
I'd say the big thing is, everything picks up a little bit more in the playoffs. One-game seasons. That's sort of how it's been for us the last several weeks, just preparing. I mean, we had to, win to stay alive. And, it's like I've been talking about, just focusing on the moment. Today, the most important thing is Wednesday. It's what we have to do right now to prepare, to recover, to do it all again tomorrow. So that's the thing I learned is, you can make it as big as you want it, or you can make it as small. And I choose to make it smaller so I can just hone in on what I got to focus on today. So by game time, I know I did everything I could to prepare for that moment. Then I can just go out there and play.
How are you feeling? You said you were sore after the game. Is getting up in the morning? What are the hard parts of dealing with?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of soreness, but every day drastically improving. A lot of time, working on recovery, getting ready for this game. But I feel great. We just did our first part of our day. Was able to move around a little bit and feel really good.
Will you wear any extra?
I'll wear my normal stuff. Maybe add a little bit in there just for a little bit more. But other than that, I want to be able to function and move around. So. But like I said, by game day, I'll feel great.
Nick, what do you think has made you so successful in these big games? You go back to last year, down the stretch in the playoffs, and you haven't lost a game in December or later in the last two seasons. What do you think has made you in these big moments so successful?
It's simple. I'm surrounded by great people that do their job at a really high level, that care for one another, and I'm just a small piece of the puzzle that goes in there and does my job. Always out there playing for my coaches, playing for my teammates. I think that's the key, especially this time of year, is, you lean on one another. We talk about it all the time. So I've been blessed to be a part of a great group of people, and ultimately that's led to success in, the later months and into the playoffs.
What can you do on Sunday to make sure that Mac or any other their talented defensive players don't take a shot at your ribs?
Just play fast, trust the guys up front. I mean, I can't worry about that when I'm playing. So I'm going to drop back and play the game. We're going to go out there and give it everything we have every single play. So it's something I can't worry about.
In playing a defense that forces turnovers at the rate they do, how does that affect what you play? Are you less inclined to let it rip, like you say?
Studying film, seeing what they do, I mean, they're extremely talented defense. I'm really impressed with what I see from their front, from their secondary, from their linebackers. They do a great job with vision. The reason they have a lot of turnovers, obviously, is the pressure they can cause up front, which causes a little havoc. Quarterbacks holding on the ball, and then their secondary understands concepts. They can tell when receivers are running different routes what else is coming behind it, so they're able to have vision on it and cut it, and they have really good ball skills, and that's something that you don't always see. So I've been very impressed with while I'm watching film of what they do. So the key to that is really going out there executing, being aware of when they have vision, what they're doing, and ultimately playing fast and not worrying about making mistakes.
You've been getting the ball out a lot quicker these three starts than weeks 1 and 2 when you started. What's been behind that?
Just playing ball. You go out there, it's like I talk about read and react. That's just sort of what's happened. The different games. Each game I always talk about as a new entity. You go out there and you feel the game, you understand the game, you understand game management, what's going on. My body at times knows when to take the shot, when not to, when to be smart, stay inside the chain. So these last 3 weeks, that's just sort of how it's gone. We've been able to play at a faster level. Wide receivers are doing a really good job of running their routes, getting open quickly. Lions doing a great job. So I think we're playing fast, and it's been good for us to do that.
Are you a believer in momentum kind of carrying over into playoffs? Considering that you guys had to win your last 3 and 5 out of 6 in order just to be in this case. The fact you guys have been playing all these pressure games, do you think that helps you going into the playoffs?
I think the experience helps. I think the fact that, we put ourselves in a position this season where we had to do something like that, where we lost some close ones. And, this last stretch, there wasn't, a high % chances of us even being in this situation we're in now. I think that experience helps us, but the momentum part is simply confidence in one another. But at the end of the day, we're in the playoffs and we're going against a team that is also extremely confident. We're going to be the road team. We're going into their house. This is a really tall task. I mean, this is a great opponent, something that as an athlete and a competitor, you look forward to playing these games. So I think as long as we continue to work, we know how we've prepared these last several weeks. continue to do that. And then once we get into game day and we're on the field, we just lean on each other and play fast. I think that's the key.
We always talk about staying on schedule with an offense and staying ahead of the change. Is that even more important when you face a pass rush like this one?
It's always important, especially when you have a pass rush and a defense that's been doing a really good job stopping the run with their linebackers. So, I mean, it's important in any game. You don't ever really want to get into a second and long, third and long, because the percentage chance of, executing in those situations isn't great. And, if you get to third and long, sometimes you tend to force balls into coverages downfield trying to make a big play. So that's part of the game that, staying inside the chains, opens up your playbook a lot more than, when you're a lot further back. So it helps the offensive rhythm. It helps everything. So that's something that, any football coach, any player will tell you that's a really important part of the game.
Seems like the last few weeks you've been under center a little bit more.
Well, I got two questions going at the same time. So here we'll go here, and then we'll go here.
Sorry. The way you guys played in the regular season, the way you guys played in the playoffs last year, how dangerous of a team do you think you guys can be now here in the playoffs?
I think the big thing is we're a confident team. We're a team that, we talk about all the time. It's about, the people inside this building that work together. And with that confidence, that belief in one another, you can go out there and do great things. So we've been able to do that the last several weeks. Those weeks don't mean anything right now because we're in a new week. So we just have to continue to believe that way, continue to prepare that way. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but that's simple. I mean, I can say all these different things, but it doesn't mean anything. The second I hit the field, that's what matters. So it's the little things I do from right now till then, and all of us in this building do right now till then, that will matter and allow us to play confidently on game day.
Seems like you've been under center a little bit more recently. How much work has gone into that, and why do you think it's been working a little bit?
I mean, it's just part of our offense. Each week we develop a game plan. The coaches do a great job of, developing a game plan that is going to give us success on game day. It's what they see, what they've put together to say, hey, y'all go out there, we execute this, it'll, provide success. So it's just been part of our game plan. I think anytime you can show a defense under center, gun, and all the different looks that looks somewhat similar but a little bit different, I think it's tough for them to key on. So we have to be able to do both to be successful.
You talked about wanting to wear that jersey again at least one more time and hopefully going forward. How much has that helped with your focus the past 3 weeks and going into this game against the Bears?
It's big. I mean, I always talk about being in the moment. The jersey, being a part of the Eagles, the unique situation, that's where, every time I wear it now, it's, I don't know what's going to happen. That's where I tell y'all I don't worry about it, but I'm aware of it, and it means a lot to me to wear the jersey, to be a part of this team. So, the only thing we're guaranteed is I get to, wear it one more time today at practice, wear it throughout this week, and then on game day. So that's the only thing that, I'm preparing for, and then we'll see what happens.
How do you feel like you benefited from the time you spent with Matt Nagy?
Absolutely. Matt Nagy's a tremendous coach. I think the world of him. The thing that's most impressive about him is, he's got a great offensive mind. He's great with the guys. But he's just a genuine person. Like he's not trying to be anything else. He's just going to be who he is, and that draws people to him. That's why he's been able to, create a atmosphere in Chicago that's a winning atmosphere. And it takes more than him, and he'll tell you that. But I'm very impressed with him as a coach.
Nick, you're looking at this Bears defense right now. What is your biggest concern as you're watching them on film?
I mean, obviously I think they're very well rounded. I think they mix up the coverage as well. Their front, their defensive linemen, they do a really good job of, pressure. They're athletic guys. Their linebackers they're very athletic. They move around well. But the thing that I'm really impressed with is their secondary and the vision they can have with route recognition and eyes on the quarterback. And, that becomes difficult because defenses that can do that, that's a different element. They're not just going to line up and play one coverage. They're going to mix it up. They're going to, try to confuse my eyes. They're going to try to confuse us with different looks. And sometimes defenses do that and they're not good at it and they get gashed. The thing I see with them is they're very good at it. And they've been good at it all year, and they're getting better as the year's going on. So it will be a great challenge for us.
What similarities do you see between Matt Nagy and Doug? They coached a long time together, and I think it was 9 years as assistants together.
Yeah. I think the big thing with both of them that comes to mind first is they're genuine. Like they're going to be who they are. They're not going to try to be anything else. And they were with Andy for a long time. And Coach Reed, he always says, let your personality show, be who you are. And, that's what they've done. They're just gonna, and that's the thing that's been impressive. And I said when I came here with Doug, he was the same guy that was my quarterback coach, that is my head coach. Obviously, his responsibility has changed. When Nagy was a quality control here, and then he was my offensive coordinator in Kansas City, the same person, just responsibility changed. And that is something that's very impressive, because sometimes people's title or role changes, and all of a sudden they're a different person, and they puff out their chest a little bit more. And that's something that I'm not drawn to. So I've always been drawn to Matt Nagy, to Doug Peterson, to Andy Reid, because they're genuine people and they're people I enjoy playing for.
Do you have any examples of people that puffed out their chest?
No, I'm not going to mention that. I was just broad examples, so they're out there.
In other places, obviously, what does Jason Kelsey mean as far as being your center, as far as being able to recognize pass rush, get protection right, call those things out?
In my opinion, he's the best in the league. His ability, not only as an athlete, but just from just understanding the game of football standpoint, is so impressive. And every time I get to play with him, I tell him I thoroughly enjoy it, because there's no one better at doing what he does than him. I can't say enough about how he can see different things. He understands coverages, he understands techniques, he understands everything, and it's hilarious. But the O-line as a whole, the way, Coach Stoutland and everyone in that room, like, they work together, is just extremely impressive. The communication up front, the way, that is what that's the first line, that's everything to our offense, is that O-line and what they do, and they don't get enough credit. But all those guys are unbelievable athletes. The way they understand defenses, the way they can communicate different looks. That is why our offense has had success these last several years, is because we have such a great group up front and great coaches.
One in the back and one right here. Then we'll go.
Last year, the fan base and the team really gelled on the underdog mentality. You come into this really truly as underdogs, having to play on the road, not having a better record than any of the opponents. You don't want to mimic the same, but how much of that is real again this year?
Yeah, I think looking a little deeper into it, to be an underdog and get back to that, we had to go through a lot as a team. Because we didn't start out that way this year. It was actually the opposite. And then we went through some growing pains as a team. We had to fight through it. Then, the outside, everyone's wondering what happened. And then, we're sticking together, going through the adversity. And I think the big thing through it all is that, you continue to evolve, and your DNA as a team starts meshing together. We've talked about that. And every year it's a new DNA. So I think it's just more of it's brought us closer together, what's happened this year, on the ups and downs and everything. And, it's a strong mentality. We know that, there's not a lot of expectations. People have doubted us, but, the only thing that matters is the people in this building, the people in the locker room, what we think, because at the end of the day, that's who's stepping on the playing field. And it's really special to be a part of, a group of people that can come together when, everyone else doubts you, and go out there and play at a high level. And, we know that's the situation again, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to worry about that, because all I'm going to worry about is, what's going on in this building and preparing for this game.
Nick, you have a lot of interchangeable playmakers on offense, but you haven't played with all of them the whole season. How do you go about building that chemistry during the week?
Practicing at a high level, communication, if it's routes or anything, talking about the coverages, what I see, what they see. I think the big thing is just communication, and then the receivers know, the running backs know, tight ends know during the game. Like, I want to talk to them. I want to see I want to know what they see, what they feel as their defenders playing them. If there's something they like, I want to know. And to me, communication is key to success. And we're doing a great job of communicating. We just have to keep it going and just keep sticking with one another, and that'll give us the best chance. Thank y'all.